Welcome back, everyone. We're going to be solving LeetCode 2309, greatest English letter in upper and lowercase. So we're given a string of English letters, S, and we want to return the greatest English letter, which occurs as both a lowercase and uppercase letter in our string. And we want to return the uppercase character. If no such letter exists, return an empty string. Okay. An English letter B is greater than another letter A if B appears after A in the English alphabet. Okay, so let's look at our examples. So E is the only letter that appears both in lowercase and uppercase, so that's why we return uppercase E. Let's go to the second one. Okay, so we're returning capital R because it's the greatest letter, even though A and F also exist. And then a third one, there's no opposite, so we return an empty string. Okay, so, well, what about, okay, so we could also, let's get this base case. So we'll say if the length of S is equal to 1, we can just return an empty string, right? Because if we have A, right, there's no lowercase, so we can't return it doesn't meet the constraints. So we'll just return an empty string if our the length of our string is only 1. Now what? Now we need some way to identify larger characters. And, well, we could use the Unicode, or the Unicode values of each character. So just to show you, let's say we print out A and OR of B. What do we get? Okay, so A prints out 65 as its Unicode value, and B will print out 66. So we could go off of this, and where's example 2? So in this case, we could print out A occurs, F, and then we could also print out R. So A is 65, F is 70, and R is 82. And again, they also return R here. So I think we're going to go off of the Unicode values for this. So what do we have to do? Well, we're going to have some sort of set. Let's call it SS, and we're going to have to say for character in S. What do we want to do? We want to add that character to our set if the swap case. We'll say for character in S, what are we going to append? I think we're going to append a tuple with the character, the uppercase character, and then the order of it. So let's say for character in S, if character.swapCase is also in S, what are we going to do? We are going to add the tuple of the uppercase value along with the Unicode value of that uppercase value, right? Because we want to return an uppercase letter, so that's all we care about as long as the lowercase value is also within the string. So soft case isn't in there, right? We're just going to bypass this, continue, and exit the loop. So we should get, let's print out our set just to see what we have now. So now we have E is 69. So now what? Let's go to test case 2 and see what we've got here. So we've got F is 70, A 65, R is 82. Okay, so without sorting this, we're going to have to do a loop through to get the largest value here. Yeah, so sorting we could sort and then just take the first element at the first index, but that would give our runtime complexity an O of log n time, and we don't want that, so we're going to go with just looping through, which means we're going to have some sort of way of, maintaining our maximum. So let's define maximum to be an array, and inside this array, let's append this tuple, right? We're gonna be looping through our set. So let's say our starting value, we could say A and the order value, the Unicode value of A will be our starting. So now what? Now we need to loop through our set. So for element in SS, what do we need to do? We need to check if the element we're currently at, if the Unicode value is greater than the Unicode value already within our maximum. If it is, we can just pop this off and then add this element into our maximum. So we'll say if element 1 is greater than maximum at element 0 at the first index. If it's greater than that, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to pop that value off our maximum, and then we'll say maximum.append the element. So once we exit this loop, we should have, for test case 2, we should just have this tuple with R and the value of 82 inside of our maximum. So let's print out maximum just to see if we're on the right track. And we are. Okay, so now what? Now all we have to do is return the uppercase character, I believe. Yep. So we could just return maximum, the first element, right? There's only one element in there anyways, and the the 0th index. So let's run this. Okay, so we're not passing test case 3. So it expects an empty string. We gave it A. Okay, right, because this. So we're going to have to account for test case 3 when there's nothing there. So let's say if the length of our set is equal to 0, meaning we were never able to, and we're going to want to do this after this loop right here. So if the length of our set after running our loop is still 0, meaning we never found a character that contained the element or the character as an uppercase and a lowercase letter, so we never added it to our set. So in that case, if the length of the set is 0, we can just return an empty string. And this should now pass. Yep, we pass all 3 test cases. Submit. And it does work. Okay, so what is the time and space complexity for this? Well, the time complexity is going to be looping through once, so this is going to be O of n. This is actually going to be O of n squared. Why do I say that? Because we're using the in operator right here to check this swap case, to check for the opposite casing of the character we're currently at inside of our string. So this is actually going to be O of n squared. And I'll show you how to optimize this loop in a second, but let's finish this. And then this loop down here is also going to run in O of n time. So the overall time complexity is going to be O of n squared, and the space complexity is going to be the length of our set plus the length of our maximum array. So it'll be O of SS dot length plus length. Okay, so how do we optimize from O of n squared down to O of n? Well, we will have to say, how can we do this? Character in S if the swap case is also in S. Well, we could convert S to be a tuple, or a set, actually. Let's convert it to be a set. So let's say triple S is going to be equal to a set, and it's going to be character for character in S. All right, let's print this out, see what we get. Triple S. Okay, so we have a set. Now, what does this give us? This will give us an O of n, or I mean an O of 1 lookup time when we go to use this in operator. So instead of checking for the swap case inside of our original string, let's just check for it in the set string. And we do still pass all the test cases, but our runtime should be faster. And you can see right here, it's 82%. So it's pretty good. So that will give us a time complexity of O of n instead, but it will increase our space complexity to also include the length of our new set that we created. So triple S dot length, and it'll be this. Plus that, and we're not using, are we still using? We are. Yep, so it will still be the length of the new set we created plus the set where we're storing all of our tuples plus the length of our maximum array. So that'll do it for LeetCode 2309, greatest English letter in upper and lowercase.